I don't know why I'm still on this Bradford nonsense. I know it's been about a week or two since I made my last video. I think that actually the last video was about Sam Bradford. I just want to touch base on it more of how stupid the Eagles are and how dumb they make themselves look and seem. And I hate saying it, but they are. I mean, Sam, they find out Sam Bradford finds out we requested, we got a trade for the number 2 pick or whatever. And speaking of the draft, I've been really busy this week with the draft and working and everything. So you're going to get a draft video eventually. It's just going to take a long time. I mean, it's a lot of crap to evaluate. So I'm currently working on that. But I wanted to put my 2 cents more in on this situation because it's just so dumb that we're keeping Sam Bradford around. And I'm not blaming Sam Bradford for his actions, but at the same time I am kind of blaming him because you can look at it from so many different perspectives, and I'm looking at all of them. This is just a shitty rant about a quarterback that doesn't deserve to be making all the demands that he is. So we find out he gets the 2nd pick. We get the 2nd pick. He requests a trade. Okay, not a big deal. Whatever. You're gonna be a sad boy. You're gonna be, you're gonna be a baby about it. Whatever. Even though you said in an interview that whatever happens draft-wise, it doesn't matter to you. That's something you don't pay attention to. Wait a second. You obviously must have paid attention that they got the 2nd round pick, or the 2nd pick in the draft. Excuse me. So he requests a trade. Whatever. Blah blah blah. Howie Roseman, he's still our starter. Nope, blah, blah, blah. He'll never not be the starter. Chase Chandler's is number 2. And we'll go on from so forth. Then, we find out he's not coming to voluntary, mini camps. Okay. Well, there's 2 sides to it. 1, it's voluntary. You don't have to show up. And 2, this is your first season, Sam Bradford, and what, 4? That you're actually able to practice football instead of rehabbing for football. So why wouldn't you take the time in the voluntary minicamp to practice your skills? Because you clearly need to practice because you're not that good. And I hate to make fun of Bradford because he's, he had a halfway decent year last year, but still. The fact of the matter is that you're being a bitch and a baby about this is because we drafted Carson Wentz. I'm not the man in Philly anymore. I'm not this, I'm not that. You're still the starting quarterback in Philadelphia. I don't understand where you're. Do you really think that Howie Roseman and Doug Peterson are going to be like, yeah, I guess we're going to start Carson Wentz over Sam Bradford, who has no experience in the NFL. And at least, Sam only has, a couple years under his belt, so, he threw 18 touchdowns last year, so fuck him. No, Bradford, you're being a baby about it. You're being a pussy, pretty much, and I hate shitting on my team. I really do. And I'm not even really, it's just Bradford, and it's not also just Bradford, I guess, at the same time, because I watched Howie Roseman and Doug Peterson's press conference, and they need to, it's either you trade him or you don't. But the way they're talking about it, they're like, well, he's not returning your phone calls. It's not a big deal. How is that not a big fucking deal that he's not returning your phone calls? He's the starting quarterback for our team. They're learning the offense as we speak. They're in training camp learning the offense. Doug Peterson's a brand new coach. The dude needs help. At least, Bradford, at least you know how to read a playbook. I mean, that's what I'm so irritated about because Bradford is the starter and he's being a baby about it. And it's not fair to the Philadelphia Eagles because we've done so much good in the offseason. Happens every year, and I hate to fucking say it. Happens every single year. We do 3 things right and 2 things go into our 2 fucking knives go into our ball sacks, and we end up fucking tanking. That's just how it goes every single year. And I'm so irritated that I can't even talk correctly. Bradford, are you serious? And then on another note, Howie Roseman in his press conference is like, oh well, we're going to welcome him back with open arms when he comes back. He's our starter. No, Howie, be the VP. Doug Peterson step up and say, listen, Bradford, if you don't show up, you're not playing. It's just as simple as that. We don't care. Do you think Jeffrey Lurie really cares that we signed Bradford to a $20 million deal? He pisses that on a weekend blowing coke probably. You know what I mean? So it doesn't matter. Tell him, if you don't show up by OTAs, you're going to start getting fined. And then guess what? If you do show up and you start playing like garbage, you're not going to play. But he wants to play somewhere where he's going to feel like a man or feel like he's the guy. You have no right or use to say you are the guy, Bradford. What have you done? What have you accomplished in your life? You've done nothing. Carson Wentz, Chase Daniels, and Bradford all have all are tied for Super Bowl wins. Let's just let that sink in. Okay? You're no Bradford, you're no better than half, the other 16 quarterbacks that are garbage in the league. Okay? You have no right to demand, a trade. Okay? You're getting paid $22 million to play for the Eagles. What other team is going to pay you that? No other team's going to pay you that. Denver's not going to pay you that. The Jets aren't going to pay you. Nobody's going to pay you. You're not Tom Brady. You're not Russell Wilson. You're not... Hell, you're not Cam Newton. You don't deserve that kind of money. And it's unreal that he's demanding to be traded when the dude is fucking garbage and he hasn't played because he's been hurt. It's unrealistic. I don't understand how Bradford's not thinking like, oh my God, the Philadelphia Eagles gave me an opportunity to play because I had a halfway decent year last year, but I'm going to be a sad boy and I'm going to be a baby about it because I don't feel like the man in Philly. You are the guy in Philly. You really think Chase Daniels is going to start? Did you really think that Carson Wentz is going to start, a quarterback out of North Dakota State who's had 1,000 less throwing attempts than Jared Goff? Jared Goff's probably not even going to play for LA. Who knows? Nobody knows. He could be a complete bust, Carson Wentz is. But that's the whole point. It's unrealistic, and I hate it. I gotta shut my light off for a second. There's a damn cop. It's unrealistic goals, and I just don't understand why we do this to ourselves. And I get mad because I hate my life, and that's just what it comes down to. And I don't know, man. It comes down to like, Bradford, you're not a good quarterback. You're not. Yeah, you had 18 touchdowns last year. You had 17 interceptions, man. And I hate when everyone's like, oh, well, blame the wide receivers for not catching the ball, or blame the wide receivers, or blame the running backs. The wide receivers had shitty passes thrown to them. If Tom Brady throws a shitty pass to Gronk, he's not going to catch it every time. If Cam Newton throws one to Greg Olsen, he's not going to catch it every time. Stop blaming the receiving core and the running backs, and stop blaming the coaches, because quite honestly, Bradford, you're not good. If I was Howie Roseman, Jeffrey Lurie, and Doug Peterson, I would say, get the fuck out of Philly. Be like, you know what? We signed a contract. You want to go? Bye. See ya. Pay him out. Tell him, if you don't want to play for Philly, here's this X amount of money, and see you later. We don't need you. Chase Daniels is probably going to be Chase Daniels probably will end up winning the job anyway because he knows Doug Peterson's offense. And people fail to see that because Chase Daniels has only played in the preseason. Bradford hasn't played that much more than Chase Daniels. Bradford only has what, 2 full seasons in him, and one was for St. Louis when he was garbage, and then he had 2 seasons with ACL tears. He's garbage. He's not. So it baffles me, man. It just baffles me that this dude is requesting a trade for no reason. Nobody else is going to pay for you. The Redskins, Denver's not going to come to Philly and be like, all right, I guess I'll give you $25 million for Bradford. I guess. They have Mark Sanchez. At least Mark Sanchez has playoff experience, let alone, granted, he's never won a game, but it doesn't, playoff game, but it doesn't matter. Sanchez is probably a better quarterback than Bradford when it comes down to the nitty-gritty. Okay, the Jets aren't going to pay for him. Because if they're not gonna pay Fitzpatrick $15 million, they're sure as hell not gonna pay $25 million for you, Bradford. It's unrealistic goals. You have a chance to play for a halfway decent team that's going to be there next year, have a chance to go for a Super Bowl in maybe a couple years, and you're being a baby because we drafted Carson Wentz. It just doesn't. And I know everyone's like, oh, poor Bradford, poor this, you know, that's not fair. When we traded for the 8th spot in the draft, what did you think was going to happen? We were going to go, like, what did you think? Doug Peterson is a quarterback coach. He was a quarterback. Did you not think we weren't going to go for a quarterback? Everybody knew. And don't say everyone's blindsided by the fact that we traded up for number 2. No, they're not. Everybody knew we were going quarterback this year. Nobody knew any other situation. Whatever, man. Bradford, just get out of Philly, man. Just get out, man. Trade him. Let's start Chase Daniels. We're in a rebuilding phase. Everyone thinks we're not gonna go far anyway, so you might as well see how Chase Daniels does. The realistic thing is that what irritates me more is that Bradford's being a child and he's being unprofessional. Okay, he's not returning phone calls. He's not showing up for camp. The fact that he's not even taking calls from Doug Peterson, his coach, it's unrealistic. It's ridiculous and it's embarrassing. Sam Bradford should be embarrassed for himself that he's doing this to himself. But whatever, man. My draft video is going to be up soon. On that note, shout out to the Philly Knights. Shout out to all the Eagles fans in the world. Draft's over. Fly, Eagles, fly. Go, Birds.